Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a couple new things that I wanted to show you. The Charlotte Tilbury Super Neutrals palette. I have the Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint. And I have the Westman Atelier Sun Tone Bronzing Drops. So if you want to see how I feel about these products and how I got this look, then keep watching. Alrighty, so let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you is the Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint. So I'll just read a little bit about it here for you. A clean, non-comedogenic 12-hour hydrating gel skin tint with triple powered hyaluronic acid and buildable light to medium coverage for a natural, dewy finish. I'm combination oily, so we'll see how we do with that. Highlighted ingredients are triple powered hyaluronic acid, aka hyaluronic acid, combines 3 molecular weights to deeply hydrate and support your skin better. We're still a little phlegmy and I'm so sorry. Okay, let's see more. So free from parabens, formaldehydes, formaldehyde releasing agents. There's a lot of things. Anyways, it is clean. There are 2, 4, 6, 14, 15 shades. That's pretty good. Yeah, so I did get the shade 4. I think I should have gotten the shade 2. So I screwed up there, but to me it has like a little bit of an orangey undertone, even though it says it's neutral, which I don't love. So 2 would have been fair neutral and 4 is light neutral to warm. So yeah, we'll see. We'll go in with it anyways. I tried it yesterday. One thing I noticed about the packaging is it's like it never stops coming out, if that makes sense. Packaging is very cute. But yeah, there was an issue with, like, you see what I mean? I just opened it and it's spilling over and I'm like, stop, and it doesn't stop. Like, I have to like put it on my hand and it's still spilling out of here, and I've only used it once and I'm like, what? Stop. So I'm gonna just put the cover on it while I'm not using it. But you see what I mean? There is that orangey undertone to it that I do not like. So we'll just go ahead and put it on. I did see Katie Jane Hughes use the same shade. Obviously she's a little bit darker than me. I do feel like the shades are a little bit stretchable, where you can get away with using a shade that might be a little bit too dark for you. But, because as you can see, it doesn't really look orange once it's on my skin. It's just there is a little bit of an undertone that I'm not loving. I wish it was more like a true neutral, like a true beigey tone, like my Cica Clearing BB Cream. Sorry, it's messy. But yeah. So I'm gonna go in down here. Like, I do think I could get away with this shade, but I do feel like number 2 probably would have been a little bit more neutral, because this one does say neutral to warm. So it's kind of my fault. I do have like a neutral to warm undertone though. Like, if you can see my chest, it does lean a little more yellow than pink, I would say. So yeah. But I did see Khaki use this, and Khaki is basically my shade twin, and she used number 2. And I was like, ah, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, so how are we looking for coverage? I mean, you can still see, obviously, my moles, beauty marks, I like to call them, because it sounds nicer. Does have that dewy tint to it. So I do feel like the match isn't bad, but probably number 2 would have been better. Okay, so I'm pulling the cap off again. I'm not squeezing it. I'm not doing anything, and it is just leaking out of here. Okay, so maybe it stopped, but I do need a little bit more, so now I have to push it a little bit more. So yeah, I just try to push it down on my hand to just make it stop flowing out of there. If anybody else is having this issue, let me know. I don't know if this is just a me problem or what, but yeah. So far, the feel of it on the skin, a little tacky. I think personally, because I did wear this yesterday, so I do have an idea about how I feel about it. Yesterday was the first time though, so I can't like 100% say my, you know, true feelings about it yet, but I do think that I prefer the feeling on the skin of the Maybelline Skin Tint and the Cica Clearing BB Cream. It feels a little bit like the Misha BB Cream, because the Misha one's a little bit more, I don't know, just a tiny bit more tacky than the Cica Clearing BB Cream. Sorry, what is the brand? Purito. So I definitely prefer Purito and Maybelline because they almost have that like more of a dry down feeling to them than this does. It can be powdered. I did powder my face yesterday, and that kind of tackiness does disappear once I powder it. So it's not the end of the world, but just know that if you are oily, this may not be your favorite skin tint. It's funny because like every time I think of products that are made for oily people or combination oily people, it's always like a heavy matte, and like we don't necessarily want, like, okay, yeah, matte is nice, but we don't necessarily want some like heavy product that's gonna have a ton of coverage. Like, we want a nice light feeling product on our skin, because when you're oily, you don't want things sliding off your face feeling super heavy. You want just a nice light, slightly like demi matte, I would say. You can still have a little bit of glow without it being tacky, I guess. I don't know. I'm just going on the nose with a sponge. My sponge is disgusting, so please don't mind my sponge. I have to throw it away. You know, it's at the point where even when you clean it, it doesn't ever look clean. So it's like, that's the time when you know it's time. But it's so good because it's like molded to your face now. Not moldy, okay? But yeah, it's nice. Like, there's definitely a little bit of, like, there's a coverage there. I just don't know if I like my face being this. It is my fault. I didn't realize it said dewy. So I really should have looked more into that situation. But it's all right. I'm going to just go ahead and add my concealer, because I feel like that's just a boring step that you've probably seen a billion times. Add my concealer and then my MAC paint pot. So sometimes I like to take, sorry, just while I'm thinking about it, my sponge and just really push it into the skin By the way, this looked amazing on Katie Jane Hughes. She put it on with her hands and it just soaked right into her face and it just looked amazing. And she used the little contour stick. I bought it in Toasted, the sculpt stick, and it looked so good on her. So I'm gonna just go off camera for a minute, get my concealer on because I don't have anything new to talk about, get my paint pot on, it's just the soft ochre, and then we will come back to use the Westman Atelier bronzer drops. I'm feeling very shiny right now. Like, although this Maybelline skin tint has, like, you know, that sheen kind of running through it, it somehow feels lighter on the skin. I don't know. I saw Kaki use this. Kaki is somebody who has obviously a drier skin type than me. And she said on her face it didn't even really feel that hydrating. To me, not that it's heavy, but it just feels heavier than my faves. So I don't know. I just remember yesterday my forehead, even though I powdered with a matte powder, felt very dry. So I do have a little bit of contour just on the lips, on the nose. I put my MAC Paint Pot Soft Ochre, and then I just use the House Labs, the Triclone Skin Tech Concealer. I think that's what it's called. In Fair 02 Fair Golden and 12 Light Rosy, I believe. So let's get to this. I mean, the packaging got me, okay? I'm okay. I was influenced, I am aware. This is what she looks like. So cute. Look at this cute little cutie. I remember somebody saying, is it bad that I want all of them just for the packaging? Yes. Don't buy all of them just for the packaging. Just buy the color that you need. So I have the shade Soleil Parfait 1. It's called the Sun Tone Bronzing Drops. It is 1 fluid ounce. So standard foundation size, or amount I should say. So let's just read up on this guy. Sorry, I should have had this prepared. So with this, there are only, sorry, thought it popped up here. What's happening? Sorry. Okay, here we go. So they are called the Sun Tone Hydrating Matte Bronzing Drops. There are only 4 shades. Westman, we could have done better. There should be at least 6, I would say. Because even the darkest one doesn't look that dark. I don't know. So we do have, okay, so they're all just called Soleil Parfait 1, 2, 3, 4. So the deepest one is called Rich Deep Tan. So yeah, that's what it looks like. So I did, of course, get the lightest shade. It looks like in Canada online, number 2, 3, and 4 are out, and number 1 is still in stock. So we'll see. Let's read a little bit about it. Feather Light Liquid Bronzer that leaves skin with a wash of sun-kissed warmth and a hydrated, shimmer-free matte finish. Coverage is light, finish is matte, formulation is liquid. I've heard mixed reviews on this one. I've seen people who absolutely love it. I've seen people who I would recommend shaking. If you hear that ball in there, I would say to shake it. So yeah, this I do need to get to too, the shelf life. I have heard mixed reviews. I've heard people say that they find it patchy. Kaki, if you watched her video, was saying she found it patchy. I used it with the Maybelline Skin Tint, didn't have any issues with patchiness. She used it with this, so I'm kind of interested to see if I will have the same experience, because it could be too much hydration going on, that maybe it just got patchy. I think she might have used a sponge. I'm going to use a brush because that's how it's been working for me. So yes. Shelf life, 6 months. Not good. I have heard rumblings of people saying that a lot of the Westman products go off quickly. So meaning not come off, go off as in go bad. So we'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't really say anything on the box about how to use it, but this is just what I've been doing. I've heard a lot of people say it does get a little messy in the cap. I haven't really experienced that. The milk is definitely much more messy, so I did shake it up a little bit. So here's the shade 1 for reference. Kind of a cooler shade. It's not necessarily a contour shade, but a little bit cooler than some of the shades. I think number 2 has more of a reddish undertone to it. So if that's something that you prefer, you might want to go. That's it. So we're gonna go on the forehead first and see if we have any issues with patchiness. Like I said, I didn't have any issues using it with the skin tint. I saw Sophia C's Beauty use it. I can't remember which foundation she said she was using. I think it was a Chanel foundation. And she didn't have any issues with patching when she used it with that foundation too. So, and she also used a brush. So could be, you know, the method in which you're applying it. I saw my friend Rhoda Paint the Face use this in one of her last videos, and I don't believe she had any issues with patchiness either. It didn't look like it. She didn't say anything, so I don't think so. And I believe Tanya B. Wells used this as well, and she really, really enjoyed it. No patchiness there. So I guess it just depends. I'm having nothing, so I think we're good. I'm going to add just a tiny, tiny bit more on the cheeks. I think this is where you'd really see that patching if there was any. Usually like on the cheeks. I think she was saying, Khaki was saying it was lifting the product underneath. I can't tell. Actually, it kind of does look a little patchy in this area, but I've been struggling with that one area, so I think that could be a my skin issue, because we'll put it on the other side and see. So far, so good. But again, it could be these two products mixed together might not work great together, but I'm not seeing, again, I have a little like skin thing here. That's not the product, that's my skin. Like I might have like a little bit of scarring on my face there because I feel like nothing sits great on that side. But so far, I think very pretty. I don't necessarily know that I would say that it's matte. I mean, you can kind of see around the perimeters where I've applied it. Granted, I did apply it over a kind of dewy base, but I would say that it has a slight sheen to it. Not necessarily, it's not shimmery or glittery or anything, but a slight sheen. I do prefer it to the Rare Beauty because I feel like the Rare Beauty is a little bit heavier on the skin than this is. This is pretty lightweight, you know, you don't really feel it. What I'm going to do is powder because I'm feeling like I could really use a good powder right now. So same old, the NARS. And what I'm going to do is just kind of powder around it, because I don't really want to like powder it away. That kind of defeats the purpose. So coverage for that skin tint, it's okay. I didn't try to build it up though, so it might build nicely. I'm not sure, but I could still see that little sucker. Okay, so I'm feeling better about being powdered. It's just the forehead I need to matte down a little bit. And I know some people might be like, oh, you're too matte now. Don't worry. The glow will be back, I promise you. By the end of the video, it'll be back. Okay, so now we are a little bit more mattified. I'm feeling better about it. We're gonna go in with that same bronzer that I used last week. Yes, I am adding a bronzer on a bronzer. I just feel like I need a little bit more something. But so far, I've really been liking these. I feel like I've had 0 issues, so do with that information what you will. But if you have bronzer drops that you love, you don't need these. This is a $79 product in Canada, so it's a little bit crazy. So again, I don't think you need it. If you don't have any and you really want to try them, I think they are beautiful. Going in with my number 4 bronzer from Dior. Warm Matte. And I feel like these pair together very nicely. Just need to add a little bit more to the skin here. I feel like I was feeling a little pale. Yeah, so even though that skin tint has a little bit of an orangey undertone, I do feel like it did end up matching not too bad. I have no idea what blush I want to use today. I was trying to decide earlier. I've just really been heavy into the bronzy blushes lately, but I don't know. So I didn't use the Westman drops down here. I just figured I would just use a powder and that would be good enough. I've been liking this brush for bronzer. This is one of the new Morphe brushes, the M163. I don't know if it's in a set. I think it's just the single. I did buy it in the singles, but I don't think it's included in any of the sets. I could be wrong. Okay, so then we're just going to buff that out just a bit and figure out what blush we want to use. Should we go for something fun, like something berry? I was gonna do, because I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a smokier eye, I was gonna do just something plain like this, which is number 10 Intimate from Armani. I don't know, do I want this? Or do I want something fun like Berry from Dior? Let's do Berry. I don't use this one very often. Or often enough, I should say, because I do really think it's so pretty. I did use it the other day, and I forgot how much I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I actually don't see any patchiness here. I think that's just my skin. Sometimes right there. I was talking about it in one of my last videos, so I don't think it has anything to do with the product. I think it's just me. Because I did have acne along my cheeks when I was younger, and I think it did leave just a tiny bit of scarring. So the smoother the products I use, the better. I like that blush. Very pretty. Too Faced just came out with a new berry blush too that looks very, very pretty. But again, I have this one, so do I need it? No. Was I tempted to get it? Yes. Okay, so now we'll go in with, let's go in with Rare Beauty. I haven't used this one in a while. The Enlighten highlighter. I was going to use my Chanel, but need to calm down. Use something different. I forgot how pigmented this one is. I have to be a little gentle. I always tap it off on my hand first. Oof. I'm going to just take my powder sponge and just kind of melt that into the skin a little bit more. So it's looking very poppin'. Okay. Probably the moment you've all been waiting for. The Charlotte Tilbury, is it upside down? Yes, it is. The Beautifying Eye Trends. So this is a palette called the Super Nudes. I know a lot of people are not happy about the packaging, and to be honest, I don't blame them. It is nice to be able to see. I do agree with that. Like, I know it was specifically for makeup artists. I do agree that it is nice to be able to see the product that you're looking for. You know, you could just see right through it. You don't have to go through, because all her other ones look exactly the same, and it is hard to see which is which, especially just from the outside. You'd never know. You have to like specifically open it to read. However, for the price, this is pretty flimsy. You know, there's just like a kind of screen print over top. The bottom part is decent. Like, the Charlotte Tilbury is etched in there. However, I know a lot of people were comparing it to the Dior palettes, and I will show you this one. This is the Smoky Essentials. Hannah Louise Poston was talking about this, and I do agree with her. The Dior just feels like a more, this is like a hard acrylic, and this is etched in there. So comparing the two, I do feel like this feels more expensive. And I know people aren't complaining about these because these are slightly cheaper than their higher end products. Like, the Backstage products are a little bit cheaper, but I don't know. There's just something special about these ones. I know not everybody loves them, but I feel like they've been just like up in their game with these ones lately, and this one is beautiful. The khaki one is also beautiful. I will compare the khaki one to the Emerald Effect, but I'm going to use Emerald Effect maybe next weekend. I also have Peach Glamour from Tom Ford, so please tell me which one you'd rather see, Emerald Effect or Peach Glamour. Maybe I'll do a poll. I don't know. Today we're going to go in with this one, because this one actually won over the Victoria Beckham, but I didn't see that until after I did the video. So I'm sorry. So we're going to go in with this. I will take a quick break right now to show you the swatches that I did. So we'll do that right now. Okay, I'm back. So it looks like there are 6 different color stories. We have the Super Neutral, which I have. We have Emerald Effect, which I also have. And then we have Sensual Sunset, which is more of that warm toned brownie shades. We have Pink Love. Not for me, not for me. We have Digital Lilac. Pretty, but again, not something I would reach for. This one I kind of thought about, but I'm probably not going to reach for it, but it is very pretty. The Denim Dimension. Oh, so that is everything. So there are different finishes. It says there's a shimmer finish, a satin finish, a matte finish. Let's see, limited edition high pigment eyeshadow palette with 9 universally flattering shades in new multi-dimensional finishes, matte, shimmer, and pop. And yeah, it's pretty much it. So let's see what the ratings are here. 3.5 stars out of 5. Okay. I did not know that. I see 1 star here. 6 big nopes. Okay. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about these. Let's, I've only used them twice, but I'm unsure. Let's go in with a rougher brush. This is the Shadow number 3. And let's go in with that lightest shade here. Ow, ow. They don't have names, they just have what they are. So this is a matte silk. So there's Diamond Dimension, matte silk, crystal chrome, matte silk, matte silk, matte silk, and Diamond Dimension. So there's 2 diamond dimensions here and a crystal chrome. So this is the Diamond Dimension here, and then this is the crystal chrome, I believe. Yes. So you would have seen it already in the swatches. I'm going to go in with this shade here at the top, the lightest kind of brownie. And actually I'm going to mix with this one because this one's a tiny bit warmer. And not going to take a ton, just a little pinch. Oh, put that one in pretty dark, darker than I was hoping. This is one thing I noticed with it when I was using the green palette. I don't know that anybody's talked about it, but I do feel like they are a little bit, not that they're hard to blend because that did seem pretty easy, but harder than other shadows I've used. I noticed that with the green one as well, with the lightest brown. I just feel like I have to work a little bit harder to blend them out than some of the other shadows in my collection. Oh, and the price. We forgot to talk about the price. These are 81 Canadian. Yeah. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Know what I'm saying? That's a lot. Okay, this one is a little less patchy. I think I just went in with too much shadow. I just went in with that lightest shade and it's a little bit better. So maybe I just went in with too much at once, but I don't know. I did notice with the green, I did have a little bit of a harder time blending it than I do with other shadows. So I'm adding a tiny bit of that darker brown. Again, it's this bottom one here. And I have no idea what I want to do. I want to do something that's wearable, but like a little bit smokier because I want to be able to use more than one of the shades, you know? Well, I've already used 2, but you know what I mean. I want to do something a little bit more. Oh, might have gone in with too much there. A little bit more exciting. Even though I know people love neutrals. This one I think sold out the quickest. Is it still sold out? Yes. On Sephora Canada. Why do these feel like, I don't know what's going on. No, you're kidding. You're kidding. You are kidding right now. This is a new brush. I'm like, why is this feeling like it's, well, that's disappointing. Wow, okay, well, I'm gonna have to super glue that back on. I could feel it like moving. That's really annoying. These are new brushes. Okay. Okay, so right now this is looking actually pretty good. I was able to blend it out, but yeah, you could see it did take a little bit more work on this side. So just be gentle with them, I guess. I'm not having any fallout as of right now. I don't know what I want to use. I feel like there's too many of, like, I don't think she needed to put these two. One is a little bit cooler, one's a little bit warmer, but we didn't need both. We could have just used the light one and one of the dark ones, probably this one, because it's a little bit warmer than that one. So just, we didn't need you. We didn't need you. This, I'm gonna go on the eyelid with just that kind of plain shade. I'm really annoyed about that brush. Like, what even the hell? Okay, so just going in with that kind of beigey shade. So that's nice. That actually has more punch than I remember it having. So that's good. Now, boring me would love to just do this, add a tiny bit of sparkle and say, see you later. And boring me might do that, but we'll see. Use my fluffier brush on the inner corner here. I want to use this shade, but I don't. Like, I just don't feel like it's gonna go with what I feel like doing. It is very pretty though. That was just a quick tap in there. And I feel like that one has very good payoff. It's hard to say what's worth your money and what's not. You know what I mean? Like, it really all depends on you, how much you're going to use it. If you're not going to use it at all, then it's not worth your money. If you're going to use this every single day, then yeah. Like, I do feel like this I will reach for much more often than Emerald Effect, even though it's very beautiful. I just know my boring self. Now let's go in with, now I'm annoyed with these brushes. This one is not loose. This is the Shoto 00. I want to go into this like grayish shade and add it to the crease. So I just dipped in like very, very lightly. And I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to blend this out. But I'm just going further into the crease with this guy. I do love the feeling of the crystal, what is it called? Diamond Dimensions. They're like a toppery type shade, or type feel, I should say. But they do have quite a bit of oomph to them. All right, go back in the crease with this guy. I'm trying to keep it a little bit lower. I went a little too high with that one. So maybe I'll take the brown a little bit higher on that side. I just started the day off on a bad note with that eye. It just took too much brown initially. But I feel like this side is blending a lot easier. I've always liked Charlotte's eyeshadows. I know a lot of people say that these are better quality. I don't know, I've never had an issue with any of her other ones, so I do think they do feel silky. Like, the mattes do feel quite nice. But I can't say, again, that I've had any issues with her old formula. Okay. Let's go back in with, I wish there was just a little bit of like a bronzy type shade that I could add just a touch of warmth. Because I feel like that's kind of missing. I'm just going in that kind of neutrally brown. Because neutral browns go gray on me very easily, so I just wish there was just a touch of warmth, because I feel like the mix of the two looks really nice. Sorry, it's just reading, somebody commented something. Okay, so that's how we're looking now. I'm gonna go in with probably that darkest shade, even though I said get rid of it. I don't know which brush to use. We'll just use a little pencil brush, I think. And I'm just going to wing out my lash line a tiny bit with that. So this to me looked a lot like the Ethereal Eyes palette. And I'll show you a few comparisons. I feel like if you have that palette, you don't need this palette. Unless you don't like that palette. Oh, I went a little too crazy on this side. So this shade is a little bit more gray. This one has a little bit more like bluey in it. This is more like a grayish brown. I don't know that I wanted to wing it out that much right there. Okay, let's go in with this shade because I just really want to use it on the center of my eye. That is the whitish bluish shade. Kind of has a tint of blue to it. And I just want it right in the middle. I haven't used this shade. This is that bottom one right here. So maybe we'll just add a touch of that in there too. It's pretty. I do really like both of those shades. They feel nice. They're nice and smooth. I mean, it looks like it could hard pan a little bit, but I don't think it actually will. But these I like applying with my finger. I'm going to grab, I want an angled brush because I want to get a little bit closer on the lid. Going in with that darkest shade again. I want to get closer to the lash line. And I don't think I'm going to do any actual eyeliner on the upper lash line. I think we're just going to go in with a liner in the waterline. I really want to do a live because it's like I want to hear what you guys think. I want to be able to ask you, should I do this or this? What do you want to see, this or this? I just have to figure out how to do it. But yeah, I mean, so far, besides having just a little bit more trouble than I normally do blending in the crease, not trouble, I mean, it was no trouble, but took a little bit longer than I usually take to blend out. Okay, I feel like we're okay. I do think I need a little bit more brown right here just to connect that a little bit better. Sorry if you can hear my stomach just bloop. It was like bloop. I'm hungry. I know I don't eat before I do the video, but you know. I know my looks all kind of look similar, but That's what I'm into, I guess. Okay, so I think we're gonna add a tiny bit of the brown. I want to go in with the warmest brown, so the one on the bottom, and add just a touch to the outer corner because I feel like it needs a little bit of brown. It's looking quite gray. Do I think I need to bring a little bit of bronzer into this look? Just to kind of tie it together. I do see some sparkles have fallen on my face here. But barely. I think I do want to bring just a touch of bronze. So we're going to go in with the brush again. This is the 03. Yeah, I feel like I needed that. You know what I mean? Just a touch. This is just the Dior. Yeah, I feel like I just needed that like touch of warmth. Okay, I'm gonna go do the brows and the mascara and I will be back and then we'll just deal with the lower lash line. All right, brows, mascara, done. What do we want to do for lippies? Oh, I was gonna compare these two also. Okay, so they're not as close as I thought they might be, but I will show you the closest shades, I guess. So I would say this shade here, it is very silky, I must admit, would probably be the closest to this one. Mario does feel a little bit drier. So this is Charlotte, this is Mario, but he does pack a bigger punch, I would say. Charlotte, Mario. Okay. Let's go in with the beige. We'll compare the beiges. Mario. Charlotte. So Charlotte's is a little more, I would say, pinky, and Mario's is a little more white. My hands are so dry. So Mario, Charlotte, those are pretty well the same. Let's go in with kind of like a taupery shade. So this bluey white one. These both feel good. Charlotte, Mario. Both pack a nice punch. I'm gonna go back in on both of those. Mario's definitely has a little bit more of a base, I would say. That's the one on top. Charlotte's is more sparkly. And then let's go in with this kind of like taupey shade here. And maybe this guy here. Oops, I went into the wrong one. Okay. This is Mario. This one has a little bit more of like a goldeny undertone. Mario. Charlotte. Mario and Charlotte. They both feel nice. I would say the mattes do feel a little bit smoother in the Charlotte Tilbury, but regardless of them feeling smoother, the Makeup by Mario ones perform amazingly. So if you have one, do I think you need the other? No. They're both beautiful. If you like something that's a little more compact, maybe get this one, but this one's not that much more. So it depends. Oh, what did I do? Oh, it's a hair. It's a little fluff from a brush. I thought I cracked it, but it's just my 2 cents. This is very expensive for what it is. 9 shades. I don't know. It's up to you. Oh, why am I putting it away? Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of the... Let's go in with these 2 shades and mix them and put them on the lower lash line. And I just went in with the MAC Stack mascara. And I went in with, what's it called? Smolder eyeliner just on the upper lash line. And maybe just to mix it up a tiny bit, we will put a little bit of this shade on the inner corner. I feel like it might be too dark, but not bad. A little bit, but not bad. I just wanted to try to use most of the shades. So I think the only one I didn't use was maybe these 2. And I am noticing a little bit of sparkle fallout. That doesn't really bother me. You could definitely use, like I can see some right here. You could definitely use a glitter glue if that is something that really bothers you. Going in with that smolder again. Make sure I'm recording. And then I do really like the Charlotte Tilbury mascara, the Exaggerize mascara for the lower lashes. I feel like I never ever have any issues with that one transferring. I have a lot of issues with other mascaras transferring under my eyes, and that one does not at all. Why does this lash look so puny? I'm not sure which lipstick I want to use. I might go in with I don't know, Acting Natural? I don't know what to use. Use a little bit of that. Stick it in the corner. Smolder. And my Exaggerize. Oops, sorry. Shaking you up a little bit there. I just have a mini and it's been lasting forever because obviously I only use it on my lower lashes. It's nice on the upper lashes too. It's just like not my favorite voluminizing mascara. God, I cannot close my mouth. And then I just kind of like lift them a little bit so that they don't drag. I don't know what's going on with these lashes here. They're feeling puny on top. Okay. Now we will go in with the lipstick. Which one? I don't know. I feel like since I did, I think I did Folio and Myth that last time, let's do Acting Natural mixed with Flesh Pot. So we'll go in with Acting Natural first. Oh, should probably grab a lip liner, huh? Maybe this is Cool Spice. The shade is not my favorite. It's nice, but it's not my fave. I like grayish. I'm gonna go in with just a touch of grayish. Okay. Now we'll go in with Acting Natural. My lips are so dry. And then we'll go in with a little bit of Flesh Pot just to add just a touch of warmth. I could definitely do this, but it's looking a little gray. I feel like I need to add just a touch of that warmth back in. I don't know why my lips are so dry. I think I need to really just exfoliate them. I'm really upset about my brush. Like that sucks. I mean, I could just stick it back on. I don't think it moves if I stick it back on, but anyways, I'll probably glue it. So this is the completed makeup look using the Super Neutrals from Charlotte Tilbury. I do think it turned out nice. Do I have other things that I could have used to replace this? Yes, like I said, the Makeup by Mario Etherealized Moonlight. I think it gets a little bit similar to the Lisa Eldridge Vega palette. This one's a pricey one. Not exact, obviously, but similar. Let's see. And I love this one. Way more expensive, but I do really love that one. So I do think that they are very nice. Don't love the packaging. It's not that big of a deal. I do appreciate what she was trying to do. Like, I don't know. Here's the thing. I do appreciate what she was trying to do. If it's true that it's actually meant for a makeup artist to be able to see the packaging, or if she's just saying that and they want to kind of cheap out and use a little bit cheaper packaging and charge. It is a little bit less expensive, I think, than the old packaging. These guys. So it's a little tiny bit cheaper than these, and these you only get 4 shades. And it is, I think, plastic also. So, I don't know. I do think they're nice. They are very pricey. But that's what she does. She charges a lot for her stuff. So if you don't have anything similar to this, I would say the formula is very beautiful, very soft, smooth, silky. Did have a tiny little bit of trouble blending the matte shades. Could have been a me issue. I might have just taken a little bit too much on my brush, but it did take me a little bit longer to blend out than my regular shadows that I use day to day. But do I like the final result? Yes, I do think those like sparkle shades are very, very pretty. So it's up to you. If you don't have anything like this, and you're a neutral girly and you would use this like every single day, then yeah, it'll be worth it to you for sure. I'm sorry if that was confusing. The Milk Hydro Grip Gel Tint, it's pretty, but as you can see, I am already a shining and a shimmering. I found yesterday, like for sure my forehead was the worst, but it is very pretty. It's pretty on the skin. I have no issues with it. It does just feel a little bit heavier than what I'm used to. I didn't need it. If you have a skin tint that you love, I don't think you need this, but I feel like if you are a drier to normal skin type, I feel like you would probably really like it. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my absolute favorite skin tint. Super pricey, but I had no issues. I really like them. They feel super lightweight on the skin. Again, is this worth your money? I think it is too expensive for what it is. I think you could get the same result with like the Drunk Elephant bronzing drops. But am I upset that I bought it? No. Will I use it? Yes. So there's your answer. I'm sorry. I hope this was helpful to you. Yeah. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and I hope to see you soon. Let me know. Do you want to see Peach Glamour or do you want to see Emerald Effect from Charlotte Tilbury? Let me know. Thank you so much and I love you. Bye.